We are back at it again one more time. Are the ladies in the house? We'll see if you enjoy this one. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Eddie B TV. I am, of course, Eddie B. Nice to see y'all. And we are back at you again today for another reaction video. And on Women's Wednesday of stand-up comedy, we back at it again. We're gonna get into somebody new that I haven't gotten to before. And this one is gonna be from, hopefully I'm pronouncing this name right, Cristela Alonzo. All right. Well, I was going through some clips and excuse me, trying to figure out what I'm going to get into for the day and for the week and all that stuff, and this is what I came across. So yeah, man, let's see if this is funny at all. I've heard of her before. I've seen her around, you know, in a couple of things here and there, but I have not seen her do stand-up before. So let's see what she's talking about with this one, and this one is going to be titled "Kids Today Will Never Know 90's Baby Pain." Okay. Well, this is gonna be right up my alley probably. I don't know what she's gonna be talking about, but we're gonna figure it out, like I said. So, Cristela Alonzo with "Kids Today Will Never Know 90's Baby Pain." That's a good long title. And if you like this reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going. All right. Well, man, I'm really glad that I've been able to keep this going. You know, sometimes when the week goes on, I be thinking, am I gonna run out of interest in this? No, I have not. In fact, I've gotten more interested, and we're gonna keep it going. So yeah, Cristela Alonzo, "Kids Today Will Never Know 90's Baby Pain," right here on Eddie B TV, Women's Wednesday of stand-up comedy. Let's get our laugh on one more time, people. Da-da-da-da-da. All right, let's get situated with this one. Here we go.
And don't misunderstand me. Like, I grew up poor, but I grew up happy. You know, like, you don't need money to be happy.
Straight up.
It fucking helps, but you don't need it.
Okay, I feel it.
It's like I said before, like, when you're a kid, you don't know you're poor, you know, because everybody you live around with, like, is pretty much on the same level, you know? You don't get it. Like, I grew up in the 80s. In my neighborhood, everyone was poor. Back then, the only way you could tell someone had cash, you'd walk into their living room, and they would have a set of encyclopedias.
Oh, I miss encyclopedias. Smart people, ain't they got money?
I knew Juan was doing good. I didn't know he was doing encyclopedia good. Mira, he's got the cue.
Nobody had the cue. Oh, that's funny. Oh,
I feel like half of you don't know what the fucking encyclopedia is.
They probably don't.
Right?
They know what Wikipedia is, but not encyclopedias.
It's the internet, but in books.
Exactly.
It's where the word Wikipedia came from. Oh.
Okay, I swear I did not know that.
Isn't it weird to think that people don't know what encyclopedias are? They don't know the pain of having to do homework with that shit.
Oh, man, don't get me started.
Getting a book report. Having to go to the library, hoping the volume hasn't been stolen yet.
Those were the days. Hell no.
You show up, it's gone, you're like, oh, I'm gonna make up some shit about Japan, I don't know.
What can you make up? Get an F right off the bat.
Isn't it weird that that's where we are with technology? We used to have books everywhere. Everywhere, books. Most of us didn't read them, but they were there. Now everything we got is in our little phone, right there, everything. Technology can be so amazing and it can be so terrible at times, you know? Yeah. You know what pisses me off? It's great for kids, sucks for me. It pisses me off that kids will never know the pain of having to save up money to buy a whole record album or CD for one song.
Oh, man. Oh, that look on her face, yes. Oh. That was insane back in the day.
You remember when you had to do chores? You'd hear a song on a thing called the radio. Yeah. or MTV, and you're like, I want that.
Yeah.
You'd have to save up like $20,
Yeah.
hoping the whole thing was a hit. Because if you bought a CD that was a one-hit wonder, you're like, fuck. You never get over it. I spent $20 on Whoop, There It Is. $20.
There it is.
I thought Tag Team was back again. They fucking never showed up.
Oh, snap, that's good. That's the end of that one. Well, that did kind of hit close to home right there, man. That was awesome. All right, that was Cristela Alonzo. Let me see if I can get this title again. It was Kids Today Will Never Know 90's Baby Pain. That is very true right there, man. Like, I will say this. Everything that she said in there rang true in many ways from my upbringing as well. I'm sure many of y'all's as well. To start out, just to unpack a little bit, man, straight up, you don't need money to be happy, man, because, you know, it does help a little bit. It gets you things just for, like, you know, your wants and all that. But if you overdose on those wants, then you're going to be all about just your wants, and your needs are going to take a very, very harsh back seat. And that's where I begin to have a problem with it, you know. You know, the times today, man, they're not as, you know, as good as some people might, you know, make them out to be. And on the flip side, they're not as also bad as some people might make them out to be as well. But, you know, it's like to look back on the way things were when you had to do, like, when talking about encyclopedias, you know what I mean? Like, I had to, like, hope that I was gonna run into the right subject, you know what I mean? I had to go, like she said, to the library to find the book and all that, and it was just like, I hated doing book reports simply, like, strictly because of that reason, you know? It was just, like, frustrating, you know? And, well, not that I was a dumb student, but I wasn't a good student, you know? I didn't like doing work, you know? I took the easy way out pretty much every chance I could, just because I was so sick and tired of having to do this grunt work that the kids today just don't have to do. They just could make a couple clicks, type in 1 or 2 words, and then the whole thing is right there for you to see. And yeah, that's a very much an element of 90's baby pain right there. You know, I was born in 85, you know, but I was raised primarily in the 90's, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. And all the things that you ran into around those times that she mentioned, man, were just like the thing. I did not spend that much money on albums, you know, to be honest with you, but the few that I did spend money on, I was fortunate that if I can count them, I think maybe like 6 or 7 albums, because usually I just listen to other people's CDs that they buy. But I remember maybe out of the 6 or 7 that I got, maybe 1 or 2 of them were like just one hits on them. And that did frustrate the hell out of me, man. But, you know, the other ones that I got, man, they were off the hook. I remember I got Boyz II Men's Evolution album. I got Cisco's album, Unleash the Dragon. I got the Set It Off soundtrack. What else did I get, man? Oh, I got Silk's album, Meeting in My Bedroom. That was off the hook, by the way. Ooh, that reminds me, I gotta do some Silk songs one day. And there's a few more on that list, but it's just like, she's right, you had to really roll the dice if you really were gonna save up your money, because like albums, you know, on CD cost about, you know, $20 back then, a little more or less depending on tax or whatever. And it was just like, that's what it was, man. I was like, oh, this CD better have nothing but hits, man, because if it only has 1 hit and all the rest of the songs suck, then it's gonna be a letdown for $20, you know. But just overall, man, I think that those times we look back on them with so much, you know, admiration because of what we had to go through, but yet we kind of look down on what the youth goes through today. And some things are easier, but it's not just easy. It's like the click is like the work now. You know, these teachers are probably having to work overtime just to make sure these kids aren't plagiarizing every article they read on the internet or whatever. You know, but overall, I think that if I was a kid today, I'd probably have maybe a little bit of an easier time locating information, but I still don't know how I would feel about what I was reading, you know what I mean? It's just like what George Carlin said something, I read it in his book one time, and he was talking about how it's not as important to get kids to, like, you know, read and all this stuff. It's more important to get them to question what they read, you know? And that's what I would have been doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I just didn't like what I was reading. I didn't like what I was hearing. Every time I had a question, man, my teachers were pissed at me because they just wanted to say the stuff, everyone do the work and shut up. But yeah, I was one of the difficult ones, you know. But yeah, man, growing up in the 90s, man, was awesome because of all the stuff that was changing, and at the same time, some of the things that kind of remained the same. That was pretty cool too. And I just try not to be bitter about the past, you know what I mean? But sometimes you have that bitterness, and other times you just have that, man, I wish it was like that when I was coming up, you know what I mean? Just kind of like the silent admiration for the present. It's very few and far in between, but it does happen. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right there, y'all. One more time, Cristela Alonzo with Kids Today Will Never Know 90s Baby Pain. And if you like that reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going, like I always say. So yeah, man, this was a really good clip, man. I didn't know that Cristela Alonzo was so funny, you know what I mean? Like, I'd seen her in a couple of things, recognized her face a little bit, but obviously up until today, I hadn't seen her stand up. You know, I don't know if that was really part of her joke initially too, man, because like encyclopedia, then to Wikipedia, it's pretty much the same thing, you know, and the fact that she brought that up, man, it was just like, I honestly did not mean to time it like that. But yeah, that's just what it is, man. This was a very good clip by her, and she really pointed out a lot of things that were very, very, very real during my upbringing, and I'm sure many of y'all's too. So yeah, this is gonna be Eddie B TV signing off. One more again here. Women's Wednesday of stand-up comedy, man. Glad I'm still able to keep this going, man. The ladies know, at least some of the clips that I've watched from the ladies, man, have got me very into it. A couple of them kind of threw me a little bit, maybe not so much as funny as it was. It seemed like they were just ranting, little bitterness in the clips, but overall, man, they're still very funny, man. And I'm gonna give a couple of the ladies that I've gotten into a second chance, you know, most notably Taylor Tomlinson, you know, because people say in the comments that she's funny, and maybe I just got into the wrong clip, and I'm actually inclined to believe that and agree with that. You know, sometimes, you know, first impressions aren't the only ones to go by. So yeah, man, yeah, thank y'all for tuning in one more time, man. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this one with me. Love and appreciate y'all. Peace.